Hi, Jessica. Thank you for coming in. So, a quick little overview on how I know you. You and I got to know each other. Was it the women's boxing camp that you first jumped into?
The first one,
The first
January 2020.
Ooh, so right before everything
Right.
went down. Okay.
And then there was no boxing.
Yes.
And now we have boxing again.
Yes, and I've known you since then. And also, just like 2 cents, not that it matters, you have been progressing so beautifully and you're doing amazing. So, good job. And so, you are here today because we are interviewing you as a lender. How long have you been in lending?
So I started out in banking in 2010 as a teller, and then I worked my way up, and now I've been lending for about a decade.
Wow. And what bank are you at now, and what role do you have there?
So I'm with First Community Credit Union. I am the branch manager. I also do mortgages as well. I do all types of loans except for commercial.
Okay.
So I do anything that's on the consumer end.
Awesome, awesome. From your personal opinion, how would you advise buyers with the interest rates that are happening right now? Pros and cons. What arguments or questions do you have from buyers that are looking in this market?
I mean, a lot of people I think are looking for guidance, just to start out, because if you just Google, if you're a first-time home buyer, I mean, you get so many results. Filtering through what is applicable or what's best for you as the buyer, I feel like it can be daunting.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people's questions with the rates are, should I buy right now? Because you're paying a higher rate than what you've been seeing for the last several years. But on the same hand, if you are in the market for a home, you need a home, you're financially prepared to buy a home, this market is cyclical. The rate you're at right now is not necessarily going to be the rate that's available in, 6-8 years. It just kind of depends on how the market goes. Rates tanked because we had the pandemic.
Yep.
And now they're back up to kind of where they were, after the bubble burst. So it is a cyclical market. And I tell folks, if you are ready for a home and you want to get in a home, just keep in mind you can refinance later.
Yeah, perfect. I love it. And another thing, right off of that, what do you see the difference was from when we had the housing crisis in 2007, 8, 9 versus what's going on now? A lot of people are waiting for this bubble to burst again, and I'm trying to reiterate to them that's not going to happen. What do you say or see on your end as the lender?
I wasn't doing lending then, but kind of the aftermath of that. I was a buyer at that time.
Okay.
I bought my first home at that time, and a lot of it was construction that had been done. There was a lot more availability then, though, at that time. So there were homes where I lived in Yamhill County no one had lived in. At all. I mean, they still had the blue plastic on the dishwasher. So I think there was more availability at that time than what there is now. I think because of the rates being so low for so long, it's just kind of a different market as far as what's available and what's not.
Yeah.
So from what I remember, on the buyer side, there was plenty of inventory after that, but there was also a complete revamp of how the loan documents are written to be more transparent. So I think that prior to that, a lot of it was just borrowers really not understanding their documents and lenders not explaining, which contributed to the crash, amongst other things. Whereas now, I think because so many people did buy, now there's an issue of availability. So I think it's two kind of different things for buyers to kind of have concerns over.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. So as of right now, you would still recommend or advise buyers, like you said earlier, if they have the buying power, go ahead and do it now. They can always refinance. And if whatever time it happens that these rates drop. But from your end, you don't anticipate another housing crisis in the near future?
No.
Okay.
I personally don't see it. It would be, I don't even know what that would look like.
Yeah.
I mean, there's already not a lot of availability. The rates were already high. I don't think even dropping rates isn't going to make the availability any better. Because then more people are going to be out there looking as well. So I don't foresee that coming soon. It'd be nice to see the rates come down a little bit, which I've read a few forecasts that they will start to come down a little bit in the next, coming years, but they're not going to drop to where they were.
Okay. And what I've been telling my buyers too is that, yes, these concerns are valid with a potential crisis happening again, but to anticipate that the market's just going to plateau and their homes are just going to increase in equity at a slower rate. And we've just gotten so spoiled with buying a house one year, it increasing $50,000, $75,000 the next, and it's crazy. And we've just been spoiled, I feel.
But part of it too is, there's a lot of instant gratification in our society in general. And I honestly think COVID's made that a little bit worse because you can order from your phone. You can just do curbside pickup. So you pull up, you get your stuff, you leave.
Yes.
But that's not, these
realistic.
are all, it's not, they're all short-term things, short-term satisfactions, whereas a home still should remain an investment. You don't, like you said, have that option to buy a home, sell it within a year or two, avoid your capital gains, and then move on to the next. It's become more of a long-term investment again because the rates are high. If you don't put a good chunk of cash down, you're not going to build that equity as fast because of the rate.
Okay.
So I think it is a little bit different, but that's where folks like you guys and folks like us at a brick and mortar or even a mortgage broker you can sit and talk with is going to make the difference for buyers instead of just Googling and reading online.
Yes.
There's just too much information to filter through in a market that's right now still volatile, I think.
No, it is. And I think it is volatile. And I feel that it's just going to take this period of transition for people to gain confidence in moving forward. There's still people buying, obviously, because people's families are changing, they're moving towns, whichever it is. People will always be buying and selling. And I think it's just going to take a season or two of seeing people do this for the rest of potential buyers to gain confidence and pull the trigger on that.
And part of that too is making sure that you are also an informed buyer. And if that means changing realtors or changing financial institutions, changing your pre-qual so that you feel comfortable in your buying decision, I think that's also very important so that you don't walk into a market that's volatile and nervous now that you've bought a home.
Yes.
If you're in at a higher rate, you've been through some bidding wars, but you're walking into this home with confidence in your payment, in your lender, in your realtor, then I think that that's okay. And you need to understand as a buyer that should override because this market changes.
It does.
So you can refi later. Again, bottom line, you can refi later.
Yes, absolutely. And it's a great thing to take advantage of whenever that does happen. And I like what you said, that education, being properly educated, informed, can make this process so much less stressful and having confidence in your lender, the communication, and of course the agent.
Yeah. And if you don't like something, it's your money. Switch.
Yes, exactly.
We hope that if someone switches, it's due to like a better deal. And I tell our borrowers, because we do conventional financing, if you're a first-time home buyer and you qualify for a VA program, it's a great program. If you qualify for down payment assistance or zero down in a more rural area, take advantage of that. I mean, do we want the relationship? Yes. But our relationship does also extend beyond the loan. So even if I don't have the best deal for you, I would like you to still have the best deal, but bring your checking account to us, bring your savings account to us. So again, it's about the whole financial picture and financial health, which takes some time to establish.
Yeah, absolutely.
But overall is a good thing.
It is. It is. No, well, thank you so much for all the information, Jessica. Where can we find you?
So I am, First Community is a credit union here in Oregon, and we were founded in 1957 along the coast, and we have just merged our way up and east. So we have a lot of locations, and I am currently out of our Dallas office.
Okay.
We have offices here in Newburgh, Hillsborough, Forest Grove. Those are going to be the ones closest to the Salem area as well. Yeah.
Okay.
Online too.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.